We welcome you back to Fox Soul's Black Report. So let's go to Minnesota, where black women are 3 times more likely to be murdered than white women, and their cases are less likely to be solved.
That's right. In a move to change this outcome, Minnesota's House of Representatives recently passed a bill that would create an office for missing and murdered black women. If the bill makes it through the Senate and is signed by the governor, it would create the first office of its kind in the nation focusing on black women.
And here to discuss the bill currently stands, where the bill currently stands, and the state of black and missing women are Democratic State Representative Ruth Richardson and Natalie Wilson. She's the co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. We want to thank you both for taking some time out of your schedules and joining us today here on Fox Soul's Black Report.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Representative Richardson, let's start with you. Why do you feel it is important to create a measure proposing the creation of a specific office for missing and murdered black women?
You know, it's such an important question, and what the data tells us, because before the precursor to this office was creating the nation's first task force on missing and murdered black women and girls. And what the data tells us is that cases involving black women and girls stay open 4 times longer than cases involving our white peers. So at the heart of this effort is a recognition that we need to ensure that black women and girls are getting the same attention, the same resources, and the same energy when it comes from law enforcement, when it comes from the media, and as we think about the community response to missing and murdered black women and girls.
Yeah, Miss Natalie, we want to bring you into the conversation, and when we tap into the National Crime Information Center, their stats, they're saying over 200,000 women were reported missing. This was back in 2020. Nearly half were black. So what are some of the distinct differences when we go missing in comparison to others? The first comes to mind is maybe media coverage and getting the word out.
Absolutely. Media coverage, there's a disparity in media coverage when our people from our community are missing. One, we are not household names, and that's what we're trying to do, ensure that the media coverage is fair across the board, because it does 2 things. One, it alerts the community that someone is missing, and they can be vigilant as they go about their day searching for them. But 2, it puts pressure on law enforcement to add resources to the cases. And what we're also seeing is that when a child or a minor is reported missing, they're typically classified as a runaway by law enforcement. And if you're classified as a runaway, you do not receive the Amber Alert, and you definitely do not receive any type of media coverage at all. And we are trying to do away with those stereotypes and those disparities that our girls are fast or promiscuous. They are our daughters and mothers and sisters that are missing, and we need to change the narrative surrounding their disappearance.
Absolutely. So when it comes to changing this narrative, Representative Richardson, do you think the Black and Missing bill will make it through the Senate this go around?
Yes, I am very hopeful that this will not only make it through the Senate chamber, but that it will also be signed into law by our governor. It is a priority for our Senate president, and it is a priority for the governor of Minnesota as well. And I just want to lift up the fact that this work is long overdue, because this crisis has just continued to intensify over the years.
Yeah, Natalie, you tapped into how critical it is when these cases are labeled as such, maybe, runaway, which kind of throws off, how people respond and react. So what more can governments and police departments and news outlets do, particularly on the local level, where these stories start, to help solve more of these cases?
Well, we have been invited to newsrooms across the country, and we ask one simple question: what is your policy when it comes to covering these cases? And many news outlets, they don't have a policy. And that's something that we are trying to implement. We would love to work with these outlets so that there's fair and balanced coverage across these newsrooms. And again, awareness is key, exposure is key when it comes to this issue, and we want our missing to be household names too.
Yeah, yeah. Ladies, you know, as we move forward in this effort, how can our soulmates who are watching, you know, when we scroll through social media, you know, there's one story that we may, you know, pay attention to, and there's one story that we may not pay attention to. And when we see these missing Black women in particular, you know, what can we do to not scroll past that and really take that plea to find that person missing? As you alluded to earlier, it's someone's mom, it's a sister, it's a daughter. So we won't continue to normalize seeing us on missing posters.
Well, what we're finding is if this issue doesn't personally affect you, or you do not have someone that's missing from your family, you tend to disregard it.
Right.
But share this information, be our digital milk carton. Help us to get awareness to these cases because someone knows something. And again, we need to be vigilant and to bring our missing home. Their families are desperately searching for them. So don't wait until a case goes viral. Help make it to go viral by sharing it and starting within your network.
Yeah, Representative Ruth Richardson, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's important what Natalie said in terms of ensuring that we're doing the work of lifting up these cases when we see them. And social media is an important place to do that. And at the heart of this office, one of the most important things that we are focused on is prevention and ensuring that we're doing the work to prevent people from going missing and to also prevent homicides of Black women and girls as well. And so as a community, we all play a role in this work and ensuring that we are playing the role to keep our communities safe and to protect Black women and girls, because with what the current data tells us, we are unprotected and we are not getting the same energy or attention in missing person cases or in homicide cases. And as the cold case rate continues to climb, we all can play a role there.
Indeed. Natalie Wilson and Representative Ruth Richardson, thank you so much for your time today as you continue the fight and the push in this effort. Happy Women's History Month and International Women's Day. We appreciate you so very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Same to you.
What a great interview. Oh my goodness, I just learned so much from those women and their incredible work. And it looks like they are not just a part of a movement, but they are really sort of driving this movement around racial equity and reporting when it comes to women and girls who are missing. I mean, to see this kind of work coming out of Minnesota is pretty encouraging.
Yeah, and the fact that this isn't a milk carton moment. When we scroll across social media and we see the missing, take that into account. This could be your little cousin, this could be your mom, this could be your aunt, and share it as the ladies encouraged us to do, and really get involved in bringing someone's family member home, or at least solving the case so the family member can be at peace and will know or what happened to their loved one. So, really important insight and background information, and I do believe we're going to continue to work in this effort to bring our missing home and to solve these cases.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to us doing our part to be a digital presence and a presence in media to lift this up. I didn't know that runaways didn't get Amber Alerts. I just learned that from your interview. Some of the outdated narratives, some of the stereotypes about Black women and girls, it really gets in the way of, being able to find our family members. And so, really great interview.
It's critical.